Coming up on AgweekTV, most of us are enjoying the mild winter thanks to El Nino, but what will it bring come planting time? We'll hear from an expert. It's Christmas tree season. We'll take you to a local tree farm and show you what goes in to raising Christmas trees. And NDSU students learn about the meat industry from slaughter through processing. Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Shawna Olson. Christmas trees are a hot commodity this time of year. The first Christmas tree farm in the U.S. began in 1901. Tree farms were once thought of as a viable alternative to use low-quality farmland. But that perception has changed. Just ask the Amons.
You get that Christmas tree aroma right away, and it probably brings out more of the Christmas spirit.
Dan Ament and his wife Debbie started Santa's Christmas trees 16 years ago.
You take that in, it's just a great thing, watching whether it be trees or crops or anything grow, and that's a big part of it. And you know, there's nothing better than being out in the woods with a lot of trees and nature, and so that is a big part of it. We just enjoy the outdoors.
The trees span a piece of land covering 60 acres.
Of course, this year the weather's been so nice.
He says he never planned on owning a Christmas tree farm. It just happened.
Our land did have some trees planted on it when we bought it, but then we started planting trees, and because of the market for Christmas trees, we just got into that, and it worked out really well.
Even though artificial trees have become popular in recent years, Dan says his sales have been going up every year.
The live tree thing has actually gained here in the last few years because I think people are looking at going back to a tree farm, getting a tree, and it's an experience with the family, and that's a big part of it. This is a Cana tree.
Dan says the standard tree in this market is the balsam, but the most popular tree is the Fraser.
They originated in the Carolinas, and they're really a fantastic tree. They're slow growing here, but they tend to have a light blue bottom and a darker green top on the needles, stronger branches, real strong endurance to holding up during the Christmas season. So when you hang bulbs, they're just an absolute terrific tree. One
of Dan's favorite breeds is a newer one.
The genetics of trees have changed, and there's been a new tree introduced, being Cana, and it's a blend of a Fraser and a balsam. They have more of the branch strength and needle retention of a Fraser, but they've got the aroma of a balsam, which people are looking for when they put a fresh tree in their house.
He says trends change over the years.
This hill over here, we've got a bunch of Scotch pine, and you know, years ago that was really the tree that a lot of people had.
Dan says he plants 2,000 to 4,000 new trees every spring, and it takes years to grow the perfect tree.
A spruce, which is another pretty popular tree yet, balsam, they're going to take about 8 years. A Fraser is going to take a little longer, probably 10 years to get a 7-8 foot tree. And water availability, obviously, timely rains are really a factor with that as well.
Tree farms like this are very sparse. Dan says customers come from several miles away. He says for the most part, it's the same customers every year, part of which keeps him coming back.
When you go out to a Christmas tree farm, there's more than just getting the Christmas tree. It's memories that you build with going out with your families, and that's a big part of it.
Eamon says the tree farm requires a lot of work with mowing and the trimming of the trees. He says some years he contemplates retiring, but says his customers keep him wanting to stay open. El Nino is in full force. We can thank it for our mild winter. It's expected to continue to have a major influence on our weather until spring. That's according to Leon Osborne. He's a meteorologist with the Regional Weather Information Center at the University of North Dakota. He spoke to growers at the recent Prairie Grains Conference in Grand Forks, and Agweek's Jonathan Knutson has more.
The annual Prairie Grains Conference is always useful and interesting, especially if you grow wheat, barley, or soybeans. But anyone who lives in this part of the country will be interested in what Leon Osborne has to say about 2016 weather.
What's going on with this? So a few years ago we were cold, now we're warm. We talk about cycles. This year we can talk about one cycle in a word. It's El Nino. It is pervasive, it is powerful, it is going to be record-setting. Actually, in many terms it already is record-setting, and it will have an influence not only throughout the rest of this winter, but it's going to set the stage for what we're going to see not only at the beginning of this next growing season, but there could be some ramifications, because when we come out of such a strong El Nino as what we have, oftentimes it goes in a more perverse direction that is even worse for this area. It leaves us, by and large, across the region with less than adequate soil moisture, what we would like to see, and it has implications going into the next growing season as to what we're going to have available to start with.
Osborne says El Nino is expected to weaken by spring, causing March and April to be colder than usual. Well, one organization paying close attention to the weather and the current trends is American Crystal Sugar. President and CEO David Berg addressed climate change recently and its importance on storing sugar beets. Since the cells of stored beets are living, they respire to maintain life. This results in the reduction of sugar, and this winter's weather due to El Nino is a cause for concern, especially if it's an emerging trend.
Climate change would be a long-term issue because it will change the growing season, obviously, and if we don't get 600 hours each winter below 10 degrees, 600 hours when we turn on those fans and blow the cold air through the piles, if we didn't get that, it will change our business model. It's not to say that we would simply be out of business. That's not true, but we'd find ways to adjust. I think we've done that in the past. But climate change, if we just simply didn't get that real good traditional cold, it would be a problem for us.
Sugar beets need to be stored in cool temperatures to prevent spoilage. The long dormant U.S. industrial hemp industry is enjoying a resurgence, and results from a North Dakota test plot could spur more interest in the crop. 12 varieties of industrial hemp were grown and evaluated this season at a research center in Langdon. Researchers concluded several things. Among them, industrial hemp appears to be adaptable to our region. Grain and fiber yields compared favorably to Canada, where the crop's been grown for years. And seed mortality continues to be a big issue. Studies to identify crop production practices and the best varieties are still needed. Industrial hemp was once widely grown in the U.S. and treated like other crops by the USDA. But the last permit to legally grow it, given by the DEA, expired in 2003.
Coming up on AgweekTV, we'll tell you about an NDSU program that benefits both students and the public.
How did we become the region's largest independent seed company? By taking a very simple but powerful stand. We will sell no seed that we wouldn't be happy to plant on our own farm. Peterson Farm Seed. Stand tall.
Drainage Solutions is experienced in the tri-state area. Their skilled employees will design, implement, and maintain the best drainage system available. Drainage Solutions uses state-of-the-art equipment along with the best data resources available to design a drainage system that they guarantee will be both efficient and cost-effective. Whether you're considering drain tile for the first time or adding to your existing drainage system, let Drainage Solutions design the most appropriate site-specific drainage for your needs.
When work takes you out in the cold, stay warm in a great pair of boots from Home of Economy, where you'll find all your favorite brands like Ariat, Carhartt, Wolverine, and Rocky. Plus hard-to-find waterproof insulated boots from Baffin. With more than 30 top-selling brands, Home of Economy is your work boot superstore for pull-on, lace-up, soft toe, or safety toe. All in stock at the guaranteed lowest price.
Home of Economy, where your dollar buys more. Who do you call when you have grain dryer issues? His number is probably already on your phone. Guy Kittleson of American Farm Equipment, 701-793-8804. With over 35 years experience in grain dryer sales, Guy was grain dryers before grain dryers were cool. He sells and services American, Chief, and Deluxe grain dryers with capacities from 200 to 10,000 bushels per hour. Guy works on them all, but when it comes to confidence and dependability in your grain dryer, buy from Guy. Guy Kittleson, American Farm Equipment.
My name is Joel Kaler, owner-operator of Kaler Farms in Lidgerwood, North Dakota. We make a patented product called a cornstalk guide. Helps guide corn stalks into the grabs in the chains a lot smoother without losing corn. The corn stalk, when it comes off of our product, it's already on the gathering chain instead of being able to hit that idler. Our product will keep all the wear off the snout and get it to come into the head smoother without bouncing.
The South Dakota Farmers Union is celebrating its 100th convention. National Farmers Union President Roger Johnson says members are concerned about being good stewards of the land as well as successful business people. But low commodity prices and higher costs make that difficult. He predicts tough times ahead and doesn't expect any change in public policy to fix the situation. He thinks it'll take a major production problem somewhere in the world.
What does that say about the future of this industry? When all the public policy makers say, well, I guess we'll just have to wait until somebody has a really, really big disaster, and that'll kind of fix the price problem. It doesn't seem to us like it's a very sensible way of doing it, but that's the public policy that we have in this country right now.
This year's National Farmers Union Convention is in Minneapolis in March. Cattle producers are dealing with volatile cattle prices and increasing regulation, but the South Dakota Cattlemen's Association is working to improve the picture. At their annual convention and trade show earlier this month in Pierre, members heard from a variety of speakers. The group's executive director says despite low prices, the mood is still optimistic.
I think the volatility is a concern, no doubt, and we really, to our members, we're anticipating that if we can get the country of origin labeling issue resolved, that would be a huge help with the volatility in the short term. And then just, looking towards expanding the cow herd and having those economics maybe level out a little bit.
Anderson says their members would like to see COOL repealed because they fear retaliatory measures from Canada and Mexico. There's a meat lab on North Dakota State University's campus that provides a unique opportunity for both students and the public. Reporter Tracy Frank was there and has more. Tracy?
Shawna, students are involved in every aspect of the operation, from slaughter through processing and retail. And sales of the meat, everything from pizza brats to garlic bacon to blueberry maple meat sticks, are open to the public.
It's kind of the hidden secret of NDSU. We have a lot to offer.
The main purposes of NDSU's Meat Lab are teaching and research.
We're teaching students how to process meat, how to grade meat, how pricing works.
They learn a lot about meat in general, such as the intricacies of different cuts and the proper ways to cook it.
If we go to a restaurant and my friends are wondering, hey, what should we order? And I'll explain to them what the different cuts mean.
Students taking meat processing classes spend some time in the lab. Some are also hired to work there on a regular basis.
Not only have I learned a lot about meat processing and what goes into a good quality meat product, I've also learned a lot about animals and anatomy and animal health while working here.
Most of the livestock processed in the lab are NDSU animals used for research and teaching. The lab is a USDA slaughter and processing facility.
It's everything from hoof to plate.
So Jermola says all of the meat is safe to consume. The lab also buys livestock from local farmers if needed.
This facility itself is kind of a one of a kind. You have your young students who don't know what they're going to do. They have an interest in meat, and we teach them, we show them exactly what it's like so they can get a better handle on that. And while they're doing that, they don't only get the aspects of the meat science, but they get retail experience, they get everything combined into one job.
The lab has packaged meats available to buy, Customers can also order half or mixed quarters of beef or whole or half hogs or lamb. The lab also does custom orders. The Meat Lab is open 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Thursdays and Fridays and 8:30 to 11:30 Saturday mornings with some holiday restrictions. You can also call or email the Meat Lab for orders. Money made on sales to the public helps keep the lab running.
Tracy, what are the lab's more popular items?
Shawna bacon is one of the biggest sellers, and their wide variety of brats are especially popular for tailgating.
Up next on AgweekTV, a look ahead at your holiday weather. And later, Jonathan Knutson talks about some of the reasons he likes ag.
Tightline Drainage is the Red River Valley's most trusted name for tile. Tightline uses the Port Hydromax plow and also Port Hydromax trenchers for installing our laterals and main line accurately. The science behind drain tile proves healthier plant growth and greater yields. Tightline Drainage also sells pipes, fittings, tiling plows, landau tillage equipment, and more. Tightline Drainage is owned and operated by experienced agricultural professionals who understand the need for progressive agricultural practices. Call Tightline Drainage for a free drainage design today at 701-235-1900.
Say goodbye to expensive window treatments and Saturdays filled with dusting. Minn Kota Windows offers blinds between the glass and select window styles and sliding patio doors. With low E glass, they're even more energy efficient. They're easy to operate, have a clean, efficient look, and control privacy, light, and heat. And the best part is, they're safe for kids and pets. Blinds between the glass from Minn Kota Windows. Midwest built, Midwest tough, guaranteed for life.
Minn Kota Windows, windows for your world.
Pronovost snowblowers, just what you need. Lots of standard features and 33 models available in the colors you want. The high level of manufacturing and performance standards assures you of owning the superior, most advanced equipment. Snowway is the leader in designing snowplows with a big appetite for snow. Whether you're seeking a snowplow for your truck, skid steer, or UIV, Snowway has a highly engineered snowplow to fit your needs with a variety of options. For Pronovost snowblowers or Snowway snowplows, contact your nearest dealer or North Country Marketing.
Lake, it's another chilly morning. I hear the fish are really biting, but so is that wind chill, so it might be a good...
Don't let cold weather keep you indoors. Trust Under Armour from Home of Economy. Under Armour men and women's base layers are engineered to trap body warmth, wick away moisture, and keep you warm and dry while you're active outdoors. Stay comfortable all day long with Under Armour base layers. Available at the guaranteed lowest price.
Home of Economy, where your dollar buys more.
Where do you go for the latest news in agriculture? Agweek Magazine. Reaching over 30,000 farmers and ranchers in North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, and Montana. Agweek provides the most up-to-date information on the markets, the trends, and the people who make it all happen. We're your source for news, not fluff. Dependable, trusted. Agweek. Subscribe today by calling 1-800-811-2580.
AgweekTV weather is brought to you by Kaler Farms.
Hey everyone, meteorologist Aaron White here, and thanks for joining us on this week's portion of AgWeek Weather. You know, with 2015 coming to a close and about to start 2016, let's get into a recap of what happened across the nation in 2015. Talking about precipitation, some of the more active weather, the more heavier rainfall was well across the south. If you remember back in the spring into the summer across Texas and Oklahoma, they were dealing with a drought at one time, but then they got quite a bit of rainfall and actually dealt with a lot of flooding. So some of the more active weather down to the south. Meanwhile, in the west, that drought has been very persistent, and it does look like it's going to persist into 2016. California having some very dry conditions, even up into Oregon and parts of Washington. Meanwhile, rainy down in the south, dry for the southeast, and kind of a mix in between dry and sometimes wet conditions across the Midwest, and I think that kind of pattern is going to continue going into 2016. But as we look at the drought monitor, this is for this week, we still have that drought in the western U.S. That does include California up to Washington. You'll notice the red and darker red in there. That is the severe to exceptional drought, so very bad conditions across California. That's been going on for quite some time, so hopefully they can get some rainfall in there. And it does look like they have had a little bit of the past couple of weeks, but with El Nino building in, that does mean a pretty mild winter for much of the northern part of the U.S. However, there is going to be across the southern tier of the U.S., that does look like it's going to stay rather active in terms of some more active precipitation, rain, or possibly even snow if we get some colder outbreaks. But talking about El Nino, that's all based on the warm waters in the Pacific. Very warm waters this year. So typically we get El Ninos periodically, but this year, very warm waters. So that's going to have an influence on our weather this winter across the U.S. But looking at the jet stream, more of the subtropical jet stream going across the southern U.S. So they're going to get some active weather, some rainy conditions. Meanwhile, to the north, that is actually going to keep some of the polar air to our north. So we are in store for somewhat of a mild winter. And again, meanwhile, down south, a bit stormy, so they're going to see some more rainfall and hopefully get some more rainfall into California. But talking about 2016, what's coming up, it does, again, look like it's going to be rainy into the southern part of the U.S. We're looking at rainfall from Texas to the southeast, and then some more active weather, not so much in the western part of the U.S., that drought across California into parts of Washington and Oregon. That looks like it's going to continue into 2016 with some chances of rainfall here and there. Then talking about the Midwest, that's still kind of up in the air. It has been somewhat active for the past couple of weeks. That trend is going to continue into 2016 as well, but also the mild weather will continue across the north while it does stay fairly wet across the southern part of the U.S.
North Dakota soybean farmers put food on tables all over the world, including their own. That's why it's important that we produce healthy, safe, affordable food. It's also important that we keep up with demand. Today's farmer feeds 155 people per year. Compare that to a farmer only 2 generations ago who produced enough for just 26. Most North Dakota farms are still family-owned and operated because our care of the land that feeds the world today is our children's legacy for tomorrow.
When it's time to turn building materials into something more exciting, you need DeWalt power tools from Home of Economy, where you'll always find the right tool for the job with the power to do the job right. So take it from the toughest name in construction. No matter how big your next project is, only one place has all the best DeWalt power tools and accessories at the guaranteed lowest price.
Home of Economy, where your dollar buys more.
Redline, a starter fertilizer developed for corn and other crops. Applied in furrow, Redline offers a solid balance of N, P, and K plus micronutrients. Micronutrients remain soluble for uptake to the growing plant through bonding changes, created by the same unique chelating agent found in soy grain. Introducing Levosol. Levosol is mixed directly with liquid fertilizer for in-furrow application to enhance and maximize nutrient efficiency.
Time to demand more. With Micro Essentials, you get more from every acre. Through our fusion technology, only Micro Essentials combines 4 vital nutrients into one powerful granule, ensuring uniform nutrient distribution and increased nutrient uptake. The innovation behind our fusion technology means you'll grow stronger, healthier plants. Micro Essentials. Get more from every acre.
Total Ag Industries is the leader in total control. Their custom-built fertilizer systems are the crown jewel of the Total Ag lineup. Total Ag systems come with a fully customizable fill system, and the variable rate hydraulic drive system works with John Deere displays for real-time feedback and complete fertilizer monitoring. Total Ag's field-tested design allows precise control and accurate application in your fields for better yields and more profit. Contact Total Ag by phone or visit totalag.com.
AgweekTV, presented by Peterson Farm Seed.
Farming can be a tough business, so why do people stay in it? For Jonathan Knutson, the answer is simple.
I saw the semi-retired farmer at an area ag show. He was studying the cutting-edge technology on display. We shook hands. We've known each other for many years. I complimented him on staying current on the new technology. He just shrugged and said, "Well, I like agriculture." That's true for most of us involved in agriculture. It's more than just a paycheck. It's part of who we are. And it encourages us to change with the times. It certainly does for me. Ag Week and ag journalism continue to evolve. Social media, new technology, even a TV show that involves me appearing on camera. But I'll continue working to meet the challenges. After all, I like egg. For Egg Week, I'm Jonathan Knutson.
They bring some welcome color to the dreary winter. We'll take you to a poinsettia growing operation after this.
How did we become the region's largest independent seed company? By taking a very simple but powerful stand. We will sell no seed that we wouldn't be happy to plant on our own farm. Peterson Farm Seed. Stand tall.
Upgrade your trailer to electric with the Rolltech electric system from AgriCover. Strong, flexible pivot arms and motor mount rotate and telescope, allowing the roll tube to rise and flex over heaped loads. The positive automatic lock is impossible to back off to control the flow of grain. This integrated system uses one wireless remote to operate up to 10 tarps and hoppers, keeping your driver out of the dust, rain, and harm's way. See the Rolltech system in action at an AgriCover dealer near you.
This is Dennis Beliski reminding you we do auctions and we do them well. You've built your operation with hard work, and when it's time to sell, all or part, you deserve the best. Details from repairs and preparation to promotion and settlements are not routine. Chances are you'll only do this once, so we'll tailor an auction just for you and get it done right. On-site at your farm or added to one of our highly successful Alaris Center auctions, we have the skill, reputation, and integrity to meet your needs with best-in-class commitment and quality service. Find us at resourceauction.com or call 701-757-4015.
Where do you go for the latest news in agriculture? Agweek Magazine. Reaching over 30,000 farmers and ranchers in North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, and Montana. Agweek provides the most up-to-date information on the markets, the trends, and the people who make it all happen. We're your source for news, not fluff. Dependable, trusted. Agweek. Subscribe today by calling 1-800-811-2580.
My name is Joel Kaler, owner-operator of Kaler Farms in Lidgerwood, North Dakota. We make a patented product called a cornstalk guide. Helps guide corn stalks into the grabs in the chains a lot smoother without losing corn. The corn stalk, when it comes off of our product, it's already on the gathering chain instead of being able to hit that idler. Our product will keep all the wear off the snout and get it to come into the head smoother without bouncing.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ultimate Spray.
If you've decorated your home with a poinsettia for the holidays, chances are it came from Bergen's Greenhouse in Detroit Lakes, Minnesota. The family business is one of the top 50 greenhouse growers in the U.S. and is the largest poinsettia wholesaler in the area, says fourth-generation owner Chris Bergen. The greenhouse grew 450,000 poinsettias this year, starting in June.
Poinsettias have a rich history that joining in with the holiday season, but I think the big thing is there are lots of different colors, and it's not the same poinsettias that were available on the market just a few years ago. The genetics are always changing, the cultivars are getting better, more vibrant colors, better holding, lasting qualities, and all of these things I think really add into a better experience for the customer.
Bergen's ships its poinsettias from right before Thanksgiving through the second week in December. Thanks for joining us for this edition. For all your ag news, go to agweek.com and have yourself a Merry Christmas.